Hi, I'm Ann from LearnHowToQuilt.com. In the last couple videos, I showed you how to make these peace signs using different applique methods. Today we'll be working on making this peace background using your scraps. Hope you'll join us. Below you'll find links to the supply list and directions and to the other videos in this series. You'll need long strips of fabric to go through these diagonals. Most of these strips are 2 to 4 inches wide. Make sure they're pressed before you begin and that each strip has at least one straight edge. I use mainly whites and off-whites, but any color will do. Since this will be used as a background, it's probably best to stick to one color and value of fabric. First, I'll be showing you how to use a foundation for the background. Then you'll learn how to make the background without a foundation. If you decide you want to use a foundation, for the 4 background sections, you'll need 4 pieces of fabric or paper a little over 1/4 of your background. For example, my final background is 32 by 24 inches. If I divide that into 4 equal sections that meet in the middle, each will be 12 by 16. Now I like to add an inch to account for seam allowances and possible shifting during applique. So my final size for the foundation is 13 by 17 inches. You can use newspaper for this or purchase larger sheets of paper. The 4 foundations radiate from the center. This may all look alike, but 2 of these sections go in the same direction and the other 2 go in the opposite direction. Make sure to mark an X in the corner so you know where you're working from. Take one strip, start in the corner with the X, and place the strip on the diagonal. Grab your next strip and arrange how you would like it. Make sure it comes up here to this corner. Put right sides together. Since this is such a long area to sew, I like to pin. Sew these together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Press and then trim out this extra. I've folded back the foundation to get it out of the way, and I can trim this with my scissors or with a rotary cutter. Make sure you know where your X is and then arrange your piece. Make sure you have at least one straight edge. Put right sides together. You might notice that this is the right side, but it was a little too dark for me, so I'm using the other side. Here's my straight edge to sew along, and I'll pin in place. I sewed, trimmed, and then pressed, and I'm ready for my next piece. I think I like it like this. My straight edge is here. You put right sides together, making sure that I come up to the top here, and I'll pin. I need to cover this. I can take a smaller strip and add this in here. So let me put right sides together. I want to make sure that this covers that if I put a seam allowance in it, and it will. So I'll pin that in place. Now I'll start adding on this side. Let's see. I'll turn it on this side, and so if I'm going to put right sides together, I'm going to go like this. Make sure that that seam catches this on the end and pin. Add the next piece, shoot for this corner. Add your next piece. Make sure it covers that paper. Add the next piece. I'll add my last piece. This isn't going to be wide enough here on the ends, so let's see. Maybe I can piece this. If I add another piece down there, then it'll be wide enough. When all the pieces have been added, turn it over to the back and trim the excess. After you get 2 trimmed edges, you'll want to double check to make sure that this is your desired size, in this case 13 by 17, because sometimes the newspaper that you use will shrink a little when you go to press it. And here's my completed section. I can leave this paper on until I sew the sections together, or I can remove it now. Just put your finger over the stitching and pull. Take your strips and lay them out as seen in the top right. Make sure you know the size of the background section. I like to cut a newspaper that size as a reminder and place it nearby. You should have at least one straight edge to follow on each of your strips. Start in the middle, pick up 2 strips and place right sides together. Stitch and then press. Trim if needed. Add the next strip. You can see that this was pieced so it would be long enough. Trim and press. Add the next strip. Remember, you want it to be at an angle from the center. Trim and press. Then add the end strip. Start adding strips from the middle in the other direction. Trim and press. Continue in this manner till all the strips have been added. You might find that you need to add a few more strips to your original layout due to seam allowances and sewing angles. Trim to 13 by 17 inches or your desired size. Lay out all the sections. Put right sides together and stitch using 1/4 inch seams. Press seams in opposite directions for ease of construction. Line up the center seam and sew all the sections together. Now you're ready to add the piece applique. Refer to the first 3 videos in this series for more details. You can use your peace sign as a wall hanging, add a border to make it larger, or add more peace signs to make a lap quilt. Interested in doing more to promote world peace? Below you'll find some info on how you can help. Thanks for visiting learnhowtoquilt.com. If you get a chance, please like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel with your friends. Thanks.